The
So
fourth
will
quarter
the
numbers will be terrific,
exactly.
and it will start to play out throughout the year per se. When I say 1% over the course of next 4 quarters.
Right.
So broadly, it would be more front ended, and the impact will just wane gradually as we move into the second, third. So if the first quarter was expected to be a blockbuster north of 20% sort of a growth when you compare it to the base of FY21,
Yes, sir.
probably you will see something like 17-18%. So that's how it's going to basically look like. I think the first quarter numbers estimates for this for India was around 26%. 26% because the last year's base had simply collapsed. First quarter's real GDP should be north of 20%. Against that, you will see maybe 2-3%. Uh, that
Sure.
that that gets you. The entry barriers in an injectables business is very high because you require much better capabilities in manufacturing than what is required for oral dosage, the pills that we take through our mouth,
Right.
as against injectables which we intravenous, which
Right.
goes through under the skin.
Right.
So, there's a very high entry barrier. It's not everybody's cup of tea. In India, there are players like your Aurobindo or Dr. Reddy's. Gland Pharma is one of them. And Gland Pharma basically was a domestic local pharmaceutical company which was bought over by Fosun, and which is a very large pharmaceuticals players in China. They have a very large pharmaceutical. So now Fosun has bought over this company. It's primarily a Chinese company. But basically, the entire business is exports coming out of the US. And its turnover is not very high currently. It's just about 3,300 odd crores out of a turnover that this company is doing. Bulk of the turnover is basically coming from the US. The size of the US opportunity is huge because the number of players are very small, and that too having you know having actually got audited by the US FDA, which itself is a big pain point, at least for Indian pharmaceutical companies. There are so many of 483s, etc., getting issued for
Right.
Indian players.
Right.
I think in its history, a gland has never got a US 483, US FDA 483. And if they were very minor, and it's got resolved. And now with the with the injectables market, there are a number of medicines which are actually going off patent. When this goes off patent, there is a case for injectable player to have generics of those injectables. And those guys who have capabilities can only have the that cake belongs to these players only. You can't have a new entrant come through and grab this share as opposed to the oral. So in this space, you have Gland as one of the formidable players. That gives the visibility in terms of the growth. They're already leaders in heparin, globally. So that's one of the. So similarly, going forward, you'll have even newer molecules come to it. They have a CRAMS business as well. So the size of the US opportunity is there. The size of the Chinese opportunity is equally big, if not bigger than US. And since now Fosun is a Chinese company, they will want to leverage capabilities of Gland Pharma for the Chinese market, which is a total virgin territory as of. You can just imagine the growth if the capabilities and the building blocks are in. Literally, the profits are going to double, and it's a high free cash flow generating machine. In 2 years out, the total profit should be north of 1,200 crores for this company. That's how it is going to, and the capex requirements are not that big in terms of scalability. So your capex in to free cash flow is minuscule. So that would mean that your valuations are going to remain elevated. You can't get these sort of uh, companies at very cheap value. You'll never get them. And it's a high quality management. Mr. Sadhu, who has been at the helm of affairs for a very long time, so he understands the company. So this is one name that like significant. So on the other hand, you have another player like an Ipca. Again, the stock has gone up 6 times, and there's still some very high room for this company to do well. You have seen how the last 2 years profit numbers for Ipca has shaped. Blockbuster reporting for FY20 and FY20. Right? So I think they are deploying all of their capital into backward integration. Go backward as backward as possible in terms of integration. Their strength is low cost manufacturing. So the more you integrate backwards, the better. So again, two different sides of the whole equation. On the one hand, you have a low cost manufacturer. On the other hand, you have a high capabilities injectables player. These are two different competitive advantages, but both are good in their own right. That's how